Weekly jobless claims came in at a 15-year low at 262,000. Personal income was flat in March, and consumer spending was up just slightly. Shares of Yelp are sharply lower a day after the Consumer Review website forecast second quarter revenue below analysts' expectations. Colgate-Palmolive cut its full-year forecast for a second time. The company says the impact of the currency exchange would worsen. And after the close, Visa, AIG, and LinkedIn are scheduled to report earnings. Chris Maurer, CNBC.
Have you had trouble with online dating? This is eHarmony founder Dr. Neil Clark Warren. We've created a new solution, EH Plus. EH Plus combines the personal attention of a matchmaker with eHarmony's extensive pool of great singles. EH Plus gives you hand-selected matches and freedom from being online. Get started today. Call 855-930-LOVE.
Check us out on Instagram, where you can watch videos, see pictures, and listen to audio of all your favorite KCAA shows. That's right, KCAA 1050 AM is now on Instagram. Go get your account.
Inland Empire weather. Let's look at tomorrow's forecast. So it's supposed to be nice and sunny once again. Highs near 91, overnight lows dipping down to about 56 degrees. Right now we are at 92 degrees, which was our high today. Looking at your drive, we've got some stop and go through Corona on the I-15 between the 10 freeway and Harupa Street. Southbound side is slow in pockets from the 10 to the Hidden Valley. North is slow from the 60 to Harupa, which I have already mentioned. Colton, stop and go on the 215 southbound between the I-10 and Mount Vernon, Washington Street. And also on the north side, it is slow from Alessandro to Barton. That is the latest in weather and traffic on the station that leaves no listener behind, KCAA 1050 AM.
Fridays just got fabulous. Don't forget to reserve a seat in the Happy Hour Lounge with Ben and Alexander every Friday at 6 p.m. on KCAA 1050 AM.
This is KCAA.
Out there and enjoying this fabulous summer weather.
Hey, it's incredible out there.
We're supposed to be back in the 70s towards the end of the week, which I'm happy about.
You know, we had a brand new...
it's a nice little way to get eased into summer, a little bit of heat, a few days of nice warmer weather.
Well, here's what happens when we have that great weather, Bob. We have a brand new student. Her name's Claudia, right?
Yeah.
So Claudia comes in, and we were supposed to do a little something this afternoon prior to the show, drop off a package, and I was going to show her some stuff. She goes, I'm going to the beach. It's beach weather, man. It's really nice out there. Uh-huh. So I don't know if that's an indication, but I think she'll be fine. But took time to go to the beach today. Uh-huh. I like that.
You know, sometimes you have to have that time for personal time for yourself to enjoy the things around you, life-wise, that sometimes get caught in the shuffle of duties.
Well, she's taking her granddaughter.
Oh,
that's
nice.
Yeah, that's a good thing to do. Hey, Bob, like your tie, man.
Well, thank you, sir.
Little bow tie going on there, huh?
Yeah. Well, I was up in Sacramento and was in a store, and they had a good selection, and I've been thinking about it for a while.
They really have been making a comeback, bow ties.
I figured, well, it's just something different, rather than wearing a regular tie. And then, we got the guy from our exit office down in Murrieta, who's the bald guy
with the red tie.
So I figured maybe it's something that I can work into being a branding kind of thing as well, for the future. You never know.
Real estate Bob with the bow tie.
That's right.
That doesn't rhyme all that well, does it?
No, not really.
No, but the bow ties really have been making a comeback. A lot of the kids at school, my son has a handful of bow ties, and he actually really, I think, kind of prefers the ones that he's got to tie himself.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's got a couple like that, and I was really proud of him when he got those because you can always take the easy way out, right?
Yeah.
But they're really a big deal. A lot of the kids wear them today. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, maybe you're just going back to your youth. I don't know.
I don't know, but they had a great selection of some really interesting ones, so it was easy to pick them out, and they were far less expensive than even buying regular ties, which I got a whole closet for.
I was going to say, it's not like you and I don't have a zillion ties, right?
Exactly. So it's not just a nice change.
Bob and I, just so your listeners really know, we got ties for every occasion, man.
That's right.
Christmas ties galore, even ones that sing and make music, all kinds of stuff. So really cool. Well, Bob, it's great weather to be out showing houses, right? Don't you think?
Yeah.
This weekend will be nice.
Lots of calls on our listings and properties that are out there. The buyers are getting out and about.
And it seems like, I'm not really having challenges with people getting qualified these days. And one of the things we're going to talk about a little bit later on that I got in my
well, actually, loan apps are down.
In my story here, yeah, but they might be down. But and I got a little story about that too. Is that I think the people that are actually applying for loans are actually getting qualified. The apps might be down a little bit, but the ones who are coming out of maybe their short sale history from a couple of 3 years ago are starting to come back into the market. 3, 4, 5-year-old short sales and foreclosures are able to purchase again. So
that's right.
We'll talk about some of those numbers. And hey, if you have a question or a comment, hey, I was going to say, give us a phone call.
We got a phone call here coming in.
All right. Hopefully they got a question for us.
That's right.
Okay, so we got a caller on line 1.
Hello, this is Scott. Is this Randy and Bob?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Well, good afternoon. I'm looking for investors for flippers. Trying to flip houses in the market.
Yeah.
Do you have access to those? Do you have a website you can send me to?
Go ahead, Bob.
What is the reason you're looking for them for?
Is your microphone on, Bob?
Are you looking for people?
Are you looking for people that you can lend money to that are flippers?
Well, I'm looking for people to lend me.
Oh, I see. So you're looking for a lending source so that you can purchase properties and fix them up and flip them.
Correct.
Ah, perfect.
We probably have a couple of sources. I don't have their information here readily available, but if you want to call us at the office.
Well, actually, they could call and talk to Felix.
Well, I don't know that he's doing flipper loans per se, but
no,
he
but
probably
he knows
has a
where to
product,
go. Yeah,
he'll have a
yeah, he or his boss. Yeah, we'd be happy to help you out with that.
You could start with Integrity First Financial. Ask for Felix. Here's his number: 951-202-8938. And if he doesn't have a source, quite honestly, if you give me a call back at the office number 951-300-1010, Bob or I will be able to give you a number from a source there.
And you're the gift, right, Randy?
I am the gift. How do you know that?
And you used to have a Toyota pickup?
Datsun.
Oh, Datsun?
Yeah, Datsun. The gift was a 1979 Datsun pickup truck lifted. And this is Tony Morjon?
No.
Who's this?
I used to be your boss.
Oh, you really got him stumped. He's really working his brain now. I can even smell the smoke.
Man. This is not Joe, is it?
Oh, come on.
Oh, this is Lauren.
You got it.
All right. I had to hear a few more words coming out of there, and then I could figure
blast from the past there.
And the reason why I first went to Joe is because he's been reaching out to me about investment property. So, Lauren, hey, great to hear from you.
Hey,
and
actually, I was being serious. Now, Brian actually is wanting to get into flipping.
Okay.
And, he wants to find. Well, I suggested find some investors, and then you do the work, and you guys split the profit.
Well, that would be excellent. We'd be happy to help him out. And you know what? I hope you passed on my birthday wishes to your daughter last week or earlier this week or so. It's so great to hear from you, see you guys on there. And Facebook's a wonderful thing for light friendships like that you don't see very often. And Lauren, you and I have been friends since 1979-ish, I'm going to say.
Too long.
Yeah. No, that makes us really old, right?
Exactly. Hey, we'll see each other in July. You know what I'm talking about, too.
Yes, that'd be great.
Okay. You take care. I don't want to take up too much of your time. And, Randy, I'm going to have Brian give you guys a call.
All right. Hey, give my love to your family.
Okay, we'll do.
Yeah, we appreciate your call. Thanks.
Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye. Wow, now that was a great call, and for you folks, I actually, he was my boss when I first got into the retail business, and I was actually, when I met him, I was actually the custodian of a major grocery retailer in Southern California, and we became
still around or not?
No, they're not around any longer. Maybe it's because I work there. I don't know.
I doubt it.
So a great mentor, great person in my life. We've stayed friends all along. I participated in his marriage to his wife, and they're a great family. So thank you for calling, Lauren. So let's see, where are we at? We're about we got about 4 or 5 minutes, but you want to get a story in real quick here?
Well, there are some new laws impacting landlords, and they're not necessarily here in California, but there's some good ideas here that perhaps could be taken up by the Assembly in Sacramento. It says, while the material in this column relates to issues in Maryland and the District of Columbia, this is written by Benny Kcaaa. Thank you, Benny. It is presented here because it contains very helpful information that other legislative bodies should consider. Effective June 12, 2015, if you are a landlord in a community association in Montgomery County and are delinquent on your association assessments or dues, you may not be able to rent until you pay up. Effective July 3rd also, landlords in the District of Columbia must provide potential residents the tenant bill of rights. In Montgomery County, you cannot rent a house or a condominium unit without obtaining a rental license. The Montgomery County Council recently voted that if a landlord is not current on its payments to the community association where the property is located, the county will have the right to deny or revoke an existing license.
Hey, Bob, real quick, I know you got some more there, but did you know, and probably most people don't, in San Bernardino County, they have a similar law that if you have a rental property, you must have a license to rent those properties out.
Wow.
And I didn't know that until a short while ago, and it came up to me when we were doing a rental survey. I'm involved, with the association up there.
Right.
And we were talking about some of the things, and that's one of the things that came up, and it's actually in San Bernardino County.
Yeah, the landlord must certify that it is current on the assessments, and the association can file a complaint against the landlord showing proof that there is a delinquency, such as a lien or an unsatisfied judgment. And what are the consequences of not having a license? First, a landlord could be fined up to $500 per day. An equally significant and unlicensed landlord cannot sue its tenants in the court for non-payment of rent. That's pretty heavy. This is a law that is desperately needed by condominium associations. All too often, landlords collect their rent but fail to pay the condo assessments. Association fees are based on the annual budget prepared and adopted by the board of directors. The board projects and estimates the annual income, but if many owners fail to pay their fair share, the association goes into the red and has to sacrifice services to all owners, or they have to raise the assessment to the paying owners. So many associations require landlords and tenants to sign an addendum to the rental lease. This document gives the association the power to take legal action against the tenant if there are violation of the legal documents. The addendum also requires that the tenants to pay the rent to the association instead of to the landlord if the tenant is formally notified that the landlord is in arrears. But not all associations have enacted such a lease addendum, and in many cases landlords just ignore the matter and collect the rent. The new law will greatly assist associations, at least in Montgomery County for now. So it's a great idea. It's been a big hassle for the remaining tenants that if it hasn't been paid by the landlord and stuff. So.
Right, and some of the things work for the advantage of the homeowners who live in that area too. Because if you have bad landlords there that aren't paying everything, and then the tenants that they have are usually a lesser tenant as well. And so, when you have these penalties on landlords, it ensures that they bring a higher level tenant, and that they stay on top of things, the yards, everything else stays good. So,
yep.
The other property owners in the area appreciate it.
Yeah. On that note, this is Real Estate Talk with Bob and Randy, and we will be right back.
If your hair is not becoming to you, you should be coming to us. If your hair is not becoming to you, you should be coming to us. Plaza Hairstyling, Plaza Hairstyling, Plaza Hairstyling, Plaza Hairstyling, Hairstyling. For all your hairstyling needs, Come to Plaza Hairstyling. We're located at 5184 Arlington Avenue in Riverside. For an appointment, call Pam or Sheila at 951-359-7376. That's 951-359-7376. If your hair is not becoming to you, you should be coming to us. If your hair is not becoming to you, you should be coming to us. Plaza Hairstyling. Plaza Hairstyling. Plaza Hairstyling. Plaza Hairstyling. Hairstyling.
Don't let your house go to foreclosure. Call Exit Inland Realty today. We can help you stay in your house longer, and we may be able to get you as much as $30,000 depending on the type of loan, and the lender has a moving incentive. So don't delay. Call today at 951-300-1010. That's 951-300-1010. And go to our website, www.exitinlandrealty.com. Are you in need of a home companion caregiver, personal care assistant, certified nurse assistant, or a home health aide? Then call 24/7 Keep in Touch Home Care. They offer 24/7 on-call service for long and short-term care, sleepover caregivers, post-operative care, respite care, hospice care, and live-in companions, serving San Bernardino, Riverside, Orange, and Los Angeles County. Call Joy for a free home care assessment today at 714-997-9936. That's 1-714-997-9936. 24/7 Keep in Touch Home Health Care.
KCAA Loma Linda, your CNBC news station for the Inland Empire.
Are back here with Real Estate Talk with Bob and Randy. And don't forget, folks, we are brought to you by Exit Inland Realty, 1450 University Avenue in Riverside. You can reach them at 951-300-1010. 951-300-1010. That's your full-service real estate brokerage.
How about that?
Yeah.
Hey, we have a special guest here, and this gentleman is new to our company, doing some work for us, but we wanted to highlight him here and make him a special guest on our show. And so we have with us Calvin or Barry. It depends on which card you're looking at, I think, right? So,
okay.
So Calvin, cool. Calvin Tucker, and you own what company?
BNC Cleaning Services.
Yeah, and well, Bob, you have some questions.
Well, Calvin, how long have you been in business with BNC?
I've been in business around approximately 4 years.
Mm-hmm. And do you do residential and commercial, or mostly commercial?
Mostly commercial.
Mm-hmm.
We tend to do a little bit of residential.
So on residential, are you looking at, just probably not the month-to-month or week-to-week house cleaning stuff, but like clean outs and so forth when people buy and sell homes, that kind of thing?
That's correct.
Okay. And some of those could be big projects. Bob, you and I have had some that
we know, yeah.
that were a mess. So
some of them are several dumpsters loads worth.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so cool.
I when I got my repo, they couldn't even get the truck in the backyard with the big dumpster. I had to get the little one, so it cost me a little bit more.
Because they had to take a couple trips out of there?
Yeah. Instead of having the real big one where I could have gotten rid of everything at once. But I digress. That's another story.
Well, Calvin, first maybe you want to start off by telling us a little bit about your company. You've been in business, you said, about 4 years.
Yeah, approximately 4 years.
And but what areas do you take care of and or service, and just give us some general information.
Well, we do take care of office buildings, and we take care of churches, and also schools, especially private school.
Private schools, yeah, they're a little easier to get into than the school,
right.
Public school districts, right?
And we do dentist office, and we do a lot doctor's office.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what kind of services do you provide?
We provide janitorial service. We do a lot of go in, take care of their offices, make sure that the sanitary part of it, make sure that their office is nice and clean and sanitized and well taken care of. Especially for the schools, we want to make sure that that the school is pretty much, because we know that this time of the year, it's coming around where the flu season,
right?
And that really we have to make sure that the things are well pretty much like sanitized and well properly prepared, and they're done for the kids.
So if my kid goes to school and comes home sick, I can blame you?
Ah, well.
No. Probably not, right?
Maybe not.
Excellent. So I mean, do you do everything from I mean, and just so folks know, with full disclosure, for the first 2 years that I got out of school, and the gentleman that called in earlier, the caller, Lauren called in, is that when I met him, I was actually a janitor or custodian, or as I'd say, custodial maintenance engineer. Okay. And but when I first met him, so I was stripping floors and rewaxing and sealing and rewaxing and so forth. So I know how to do that stuff pretty well.
So you were a CME.
Custodial maintenance engineer. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, CME designation.
Yeah, I should put that on my business card, right?
Yeah.
Still, right? Yeah. So do you do all that kind of stuff? You strip floors all the way down, reseal them, and
yes, we do. Yes, we do.
And that's really linoleum.
It really depends on the client's needs.
It all depends on the client's need, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
How about carpets and shampooing and steam cleaning and stuff like that?
We do a lot of carpets, and especially like my church, where we'll take care of. We have a really big church that we take care of. It's a lot. 95% of it is carpet, so we really have to maintain it.
It gets a lot of traffic, right?
A lot of traffic.
Yeah. So
like thousands of people pretty much like come through that place within like a month.
Right.
So yes.
Well, that's excellent. I actually work with a couple of churches right now, helping them get a new church up and running and so forth. So it's kind of fun. I'm enjoying it anyways. The pastor's a really nice woman.
So what would you say makes your company different than what your competitors out there? Besides your excellent service,
Well, we are a fair company. Our prices are definitely fair. We try to keep it really fair, and also.
You mean fair in terms of price and
price?
Yeah,
we
try
in
terms.
Yeah, and we try to work with individual, like with their budget and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we make sure that our customer is pretty much satisfied, because we want to give 100% of our time in making sure that any customer that we work with, we want to make sure that they're satisfied with our work.
The best referral is a word of mouth, and if you're doing a great job, then they're going to tell somebody, right?
That's correct.
That same grocery store that I work for with that other guy, they used to have a slogan called "Tell a Friend."
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe some people know who that grocery store is now, right? But "Tell a Friend" was their slogan, but really a lot of business comes from you doing good works and then getting referrals. Yeah. So.
And also, we partner with a company called Cleaning for a Reason. This company pretty much like focus on individuals with like cancer, and we go in and to help them like to clean their homes, especially because after their surgery and stuff like that, and it's kind of hard and difficult for them to be able to move around and take care of their homes. Sometimes they have relatives that are pretty much focusing on trying to help them taking care of the home, and so it's overburdened. And so we go in as a company and we help out, and we don't charge. The only thing that we do is just like to make sure that the company that we Clean for a Reason, that they put us on their website,
right?
And just to make sure to advertise our business,
right? So you're trading a little advertisement for some good works, because you're helping some people that are ill and hoping that hoping that they get better, but you're making that time of their life a little easier.
That's correct.
Absolutely, that's great. So the name of your company is BC Cleaning Services, right?
Yes.
Now, if someone wanted to get a hold of you and get a quote, is there a charge for them to get a quote?
No, it's free.
Free?
Free, of course.
Free. Bob, don't we have another word for free?
Gratis.
Gratis. Oh yeah. We got to make sure we get the population of both ends here, the Spanish speakers and.
Okay.
All right. So gratis, and so you're going to come out, give them a fair quote, right?
That's correct.
And what kind of time frame? I want to get my office started cleaning, say next week, and I call you. How long can I expect before someone comes out?
Well, we can come out as quickly as possible. It all depends on if they say, well, I want you to, can you come out maybe the next day? We'll definitely try to be there.
Okay. And for them to get that started, what's the phone number that they call you at?
951-858-3351.
So imagine someone's racing down the freeway right now and they need that number. So they slam on the brakes, they pull over to the side of the road, and they're going to write this down. What was that number again? What was that number again?
951-858-3351.
Okay. And do you have a website they can go to as well, right?
Yes. It's bnceco.com. bnceco.com.
Well, that's great. They can call you. They can get, maybe their household chore is a one-time deal. They can call you on that. If they have an office, maybe they work for somebody they don't like the service that's currently doing it. They could recommend you to their boss or supervisor, or maybe they own a company and they can give you a shout out, right?
Yes.
And get you motoring on their property and getting it cleaned up. So windows, floors, carpets, what?
That's correct. Yeah, windows, floors, and carpet, and pretty much like we do also. We try to make sure that we do a lot of sterilization. Like we have like equipments that we definitely can help.
So are you using any particular type of brand of product for like disinfectants and cleaning stuff? I mean, are these eco-friendly products? Is there something special about what you're using?
Yeah, most of our product that we use is eco-friendly.
Okay.
We're trying to stay eco-friendly because, like the fact that, we don't want anything to cause anyone, our customers to be sick because, like a lot of products out there are pretty much harsh for the environment. So we're trying to stay eco-friendly.
Okay, excellent. And I contacted Calvin because he was referred to me from somebody else. So word of mouth actually really does work. Yeah. And you're starting this week on our building. Yes. And we're really excited about it. So when you do a great job, we'll have you back, right? And we'll talk about. Then I can really say that you do a great job. Right. I know that you will. I could tell just by your demeanor and everything that you're gonna give us good service and you're gonna be out to us a couple times a month. So they can actually schedule to be weekly, every day probably, or once a month or whatever they're looking for. You can accommodate those kind of services.
Well, how wide of a market area are you handling right now, Calvin?
Well, pretty much like within the San Bernardino, Riverside area.
Mm-hmm. And because our station goes all the way to the coast, so that's why I was clarifying for our listeners out there. We don't want somebody calling you from Malibu,
So, but if
unless they want to pay enough money to for travel charges, you never know.
I know.
But if they called you from, say, Anaheim, could you service that area that far away, or is that a little bit out of your range, or that's kind of getting there?
As a company, what we're trying to do is just like if we get like jobs like pretty on a distance, like maybe LA and stuff like that, we are trying to accommodate. We're trying to employ people within that area, not trying to bring anybody there. So we just pretty much stay there in that area.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
How about that? Trying to employ people. There's a good concept, right?
Yes,
it's probably Bob and I talk about when we talk about the economy on the show, and we get into it once in a while. The biggest factor with selling houses and so forth and making the market move in our economy is getting people back to a level of employment that they can sustain themselves.
That's correct.
Otherwise, they become dependent on others in society. So, great job for.
Well, tell them again, Calvin, the name of your company and how they can reach you.
My company is BNC Cleaning Services, and my number is 951-858-3351.
That is great. And you guys use like green products and things like that?
Yes.
Oh, well, that's good to know.
Well, Bob, I think it's time that we're supposed to take a break here. Calvin, it was great having you on here.
Thank you.
We look forward to working with your company a little bit further, and we'll progress as time goes on.
It's a pleasure being here.
Great having you.
Thank you. And folks, we are going to be right back. This is Real Estate Talk with Bob and Randy.
15 minutes goes on.
How hard can it be? You put up a sign, you just wait for the offers to roll in. It becomes a second job.
Getting the house appraised and the comps.
The money that you think you're going to save, you end up losing. I've bought and sold homes before, and now the first thing I do is call a realtor.
Realtors have the experience to price your home so it can sell for up to 16% more than selling it yourself.
Using a realtor is a smart financial decision.
Get the facts straight about selling your own home. Talk to an agent and be sure to ask if that agent is a realtor, a member of the National Association of Realtors.
It's way too risky to sell your house on your own.
Real Estate Talk with Bob and Randy is brought to you by the sumptuous Chinese food restaurant in Riverside, the Mandarin Gardens. Experience all your Chinese favorites and your favorite tropical drinks at the Mandarin Gardens. Banquet facilities are available as well. 1445 University Avenue, or call for takeout 951-786-9887. Say hi to Jason, tell him Bob and Randy sent you, and he'll give you a free order of egg rolls. That's Mandarin Gardens, 1445 University Avenue.
You're listening to KCAA, your good neighbor along the way.
Don't let your house go to foreclosure. Call Exit Inland Realty today. We can help you stay in your house longer, and we may be able to get you as much as $30,000 depending on the type of loan, and the lender has a moving incentive. So don't delay. Call today at 951-300-1010. That's 951-300-1010, and go to our website, www.exitinlandrealty.com.
I'm Tito Love from the TV show I'm Mad as Hell and I'm Not Gonna Take It Anymore. I'm so tired of stupid people that I've written SOS, Stuck on Stupid, the self-help book about common sense and philosophy. You can buy a copy at your local bookstore or at Amazon.com. Then visit MainPerformanceUSA.com for the complete story. Read SOS, Stuck on Stupid, the self-help book, and stay away from the stoopies.
For more local radio every day, tune into KCAA Loma Linda.
And good afternoon. We want to thank you for joining us here today for Real Estate Talk with Bob and Randy. Brought to you by Exit Inland Realty, 1450 University Avenue. You can give them a call at 951-300-1010, 951-300-1010. Your full-service real estate brokerage. If you're looking for a house or you want to sell your house or any of those options, we're here for you.
Give us a John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt.
That's right. Realtor Bob Bishop and Realtor Randy Guth.
Woohoo! The crowd goes wild.
Yes, sirree. Hey, I just wanted to run into something here real interesting. Last week, I was at the California Association of Realtors Legislative Day.
Why were you up there?
Ha! How about that? Approximately 2,000 realtors from all areas of California showed up in Sacramento, the state capital, for the purpose of spending some in-person advocacy time with their respective legislative representatives. Legislative Day, as it's called, is an annual event for the California Association of Realtors. No year goes by without a sizable number of bills being introduced that would affect property rights, housing, and or the real estate business. The annual appearance of these representatives from the state's largest trade association, approximately 180,000 members currently, is an effective reminder that someone is watching and with more than a casual interest. This year, one of the bills that received particular attention from the realtors was Senate Bill 8. I want you folks out there who are homeowners or future homeowners to listen up on this. It's a proposal to impose taxes on services, something that is currently not done in California. Now, what I mean by that, real estate transactions are service intensive. Among the services that would be taxed under Senate Bill 8 proposal are appraisals, home inspections, natural hazard disclosure reporting, pest control inspection and repair, title insurance, loan origination, and brokerage. It adds up to a substantial number. CAR's legislative analysts estimated that the service fees comprise about 13% of a sale price. The number seems a bit high to me, although they were including services to prep for sale like painting, cleaning, landscaping, staging, etc. But even more modest estimates say 8 to 10% yield some significant numbers. The realtor's point to the legislator was that California doesn't need anything that will increase the already too high cost of housing. With a statewide cost of a median home priced at $447 in the fourth quarter of 2014, California has an affordability crisis right now. Fewer than 40% of its population can afford the median price home. Nationally, 59% can afford the U.S. median. California's homeownership rate has dropped below 55%. A 5% tax on a typical service for a median price California home would increase the transaction cost by more than $2,000. A 7.5% service tax would add $3,000 to the total cost. These numbers have real consequences. At today's financing cost, the 5% tax would eliminate close to 25,000 potential buyers from that purchase. A 7.5% tax would similarly affect more than 36,000. It's easy to look at a tax proposal at a fairly high level of abstraction. Last week on Legislative Day, 2,300 realtors took it upon themselves to show legislators some of Section SB 8 possible effects on the real world of the hard-to-afford housing. So, if you're out there, contact your legislator, say no on SB 8. We do not want SB 8. So call your legislators, no on SB 8, so that it isn't going to cost you more in the future to buy a house.
Sell or buy your home.
To sell or buy your home. That's correct.
Absolutely.
And that's one of the reasons that California Association of Realtors has this advocacy, because we go up there, we meet with the legislators, we show them that we're serious and that we vote, and that we either want a bill passed, modified, or killed if it's not going to be good for housing.
Now, Bob, you and I have been together, 10 years now, roughly, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And what is your position there with Kcaaa?
I am a California Association of Realtors board director member.
Excellent.
Yes,
and
I'm also one with the National Association of Realtors.
Right. And so because of that, one of the things that's really cool, and for our listeners and other agents and potential customers, everybody, is that, we have the latest news about what's going on with the laws and legislature, and because of the radio show here, Bob and I try to stay up on the absolute latest information with regards to mortgages, all the different aspects of what's going on. And so if you want to hire a broker or agent that really has the ability to know a lot of stuff.
We are in the know.
Hey, I like that. We're in the know. So give us a call, 951-300-1010. Ask for Bob or Randy. We'd be happy to get you any information. And if you heard the caller earlier, he asked a question. I didn't have the answer to him directly. I know that I have the answer at my office. And just it's that easy. Just call me back at the office and I get you the answer.
Yeah, it was interesting. One of the comments on the article on SB 8, so let everybody know you want them to vote no, is it says, tax-hungry legislators. The Beatles song Taxman certainly describes the situation. Basically, tax everything possible. If you take a walk, I'll tax your feet. Because they spend and waste, but won't control it. That's the only alternative for the legislators, is to tax more and higher. So, we have several issues like that we're working through with the legislature. But the California Association of Realtors, we're the largest trade group in Sacramento. In Washington, we're in the top 10 trade groups that lobby Congress. And next month, I'll be going up to Washington, D.C. for the same reason, but for lobbying on the federal law, on the federal level, for the laws that we want them to either pass, modify, or kill, one of the three as well. So we have a concerted legislative effort going on all throughout the year to protect private property rights and to try and get stuff like this that legislators and people dream up to make it cost more for taxpayers.
Right, and there's all kinds of things that they try to pass, and some of them we see that are right at the surface, and there are other things that are buried a little bit deep that you don't know about, and Bob's really in the know.
Well, sometimes they try and sneak these things through at the very end. They tack them onto another
bill.
bill.
To another bill.
And it's very difficult at that point, to go up and do something to kill them. But that's why our legislative representatives are watching constantly about these things that come up and working diligently to work out a solution so that it doesn't impact everybody statewide like this. Because housing affordability in California is a really major problem right now.
And we're already one of the highest tax states in the country.
The biggest part of that problem is that there are so many local restrictions for building new housing that we're already, it was estimated we're behind 165,000 new homes every year here in California. And as a result of that is why we don't have sufficient inventory.
Which pushes prices up.
Which makes affordability less for the majority of the consumers in California. So slow but sure, as prices inch up, and because newer housing isn't being built to fill in that demand that's out there, our whole state is slowly but surely being gentrified. I mean, if this keeps up and the legislature and doesn't come up with some ways to make it easier to build more housing in California, this could be a state that only the most wealthy people in the future will be able to live in the middle and the lower class that live here presently may wind up all of them just renters or just moving out of state to another place. So it's definitely a dire situation, and it's something that we were talking about and plan to try and address with the California legislature coming up here in the upcoming sessions.
Well, it sounds like you did some good work. You were up there quite a few days, Bob, and we missed you. Glad to have you back. Last week, you weren't here, so I had the Bob and Randy show without the Bob.
I know.
I don't know how that works.
I know.
But
well, I thought maybe in the future what I could do too is maybe try and record some interviews with people when I'm out of town like that, or call in on the show with somebody and we can do a live interview on the air with them while I'm still on location.
That would be great. Yeah, that would have been great.
I found another program called Periscope that allows you to do it similar to Skype, but a little bit better, that you can do it over Twitter to interview
I've heard
people.
of Periscope. I don't use either of those. I don't know that much about any of those things. So, I take your lead on all that stuff, man.
So, yeah, again, as I said, talk to your legislator, be they in the Assembly or Senate, and tell them you want no on SB 8 because it's only going to increase your housing costs here in California.
Yeah, and if you forget what that is, don't hesitate to give us a call and ask us. We'll be happy to give you that information. No on SB 8, and you can call us at 951-300-1010. That's 951-300-1010.
And we did have an earlier caller, your friend Lauren. If you do want to call in and you have any questions or comments on our show, give us a call at 1-888-909-1050. That's 888-909-1050. And that way you can get in on the conversation here.
Yeah, and hey, you know what? If you have some information, maybe you don't just have a question, maybe you just have some added news, something we haven't heard about. We don't know everything.
Well, there's a really major change I'm going to talk about real quickly, and then we can talk about it a little bit more after we come back for the next break, is on August 1st, the Consumer Bureau of the federal government is redesigning we used to have what was called a HUD-1, which was kind of like your final statement before your loan closed. Well, they're revamping that whole closing procedure as of August 1st. The new forms aren't going to be available till August 1st. We're continuing to use the old ones, but it's going to change how real estate settlement is done. It's going to make it more transparent and make it easier for the consumer to shop multiple companies at the same time to be able to find out where they can get the best rate and terms. And this is all going to start August 1st. We can't give you that much more about it, but as time goes on, maybe we can get a representative in here from the California Escrow Association or something that can talk a little bit more about what's happening with those changes.
I think from my...
But it is going to slow down loan processing, believe me, from August 1st until probably close to the first of the year, because there's a lot of new changes on disclosure and things like that. If things change during the course of the loan or other things, it's going to cause delays, and it's going to take a while till they get up to speed in their use, because the HUD-1 has been around like forever. And so this is like a huge major change for the lending industry, and it's definitely going to, in fact, impact timetables. So if you're going to be buying a house during that term from August 1st to January 1st, be aware that you're probably going to have delays. And you may need to get extensions to accommodate for the learning curve for the lenders and the settlement agents.
And it might be one of the questions that you asked during your interview process with the lender is, are they up to speed on the new legislation coming forth during that time frame?
Exactly. Exactly. So, folks, we're going to take another real short break here, a couple of minutes. I think they say 2 and 2.
2 and 2. I like that.
And don't forget, we're on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Also, a shout to our friends there at Back to the Grind in Riverside. Hi, Darren. Best coffee house in Riverside, California. Get your favorite coffees, smoothies, snacks, lunches, and they even have free Wi-Fi. Back to the Grind is located in downtown Riverside at 3575 University Avenue between Lemon Street and Orange Street. Back to the Grind. Call them at 951-784-0800.
If your hair is not becoming to you, you should be coming to us. If your hair is not becoming to you, you should be coming to us. Plaza Hairstyling, Plaza Hairstyling, Plaza Hairstyling. Plaza Hairstyling. For all your hairstyling needs, come to Plaza Hairstyling. We're located at 5184 Arlington Avenue in Riverside. For an appointment, call Pam or Sheila at 951-359-7376. That's 951-359-7376. If your hair is not becoming to you, you should be coming to us. If your hair is not becoming to you, you should be coming to us. Plaza Hairstyling. Plaza Hairstyling. Plaza Hairstyling. Plaza Hairstyling. Hairstyling.
1050 AM. Don't forget that number. And for you young people who got here by accidentally fat fingering your FM band selector, we're an AM radio station. And AM refers to more than just the time of day.
Don't let your house go to foreclosure. Call Exit Inland Realty today. We can help you stay in your house longer, and we may be able to get you as much as $30,000 depending on the type of loan, and the lender has a moving incentive. So don't delay. Call today at 951-300-1010. That's 951-300-1010. And go to our website, www.exitinlandrealty.com.
Hey, what you doing?
I'm online looking at a satellite view of the neighborhood.
Huh. What's with all the dots?
Green means it's for sale, yellow means sold.
Gotcha. Hey, is that the house we looked at?
Yeah, I love it. Maybe we should talk to a realtor, make an offer?
Did that house just go from green to yellow?
Yeah, sold. Right before our very eyes.
Buyers are in the market, but there's a shortage of homes for sale. If you've been thinking about selling, now may be the right time. Every market's different. Call a Realtor today or visit Realtor.com. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
KCAA is your CNBC News affiliate. We're the station that gets down to business.
And we are back. I'm glad you could join us with Real Estate Talk with Bob and Randy.
Woohoo!
And we are here talking about real estate. Heavy duty deal. Hey, you got something there to share about Felix?
Well, I just want to give a shout out. Felix is not here today. Integrity First Financial Group. You know, they're the preferred lender out of our office.
Yeah.
And why we really like them for the folks that are out there in the real estate world or contemplating getting into the real estate world is that they really do a lot of work with down payment assistance, credit restoration, helping people, get where they need to be to purchase a home. And Felix, his number is 951-202-8938. That's 951-202-8938. Ask for Felix. He'll help you get qualified for a home mortgage or pre-qualified and see if there's anything that needs to be fixed. He'll give you some direction on what you need to do to get qualified. So great company. We love using them. And give them a call.
Yeah, so especially if you're a first-time home buyer, they've got access to all of the different programs and everything, so it'd be real good for you.
Well, Bob, I think one of the things you might have talked about, you talked about home ownership in California, the affordability and so forth, right? So here's just a little note that I got. Home ownership rate declines in quarter one. The home ownership rate declined 1.1 percentage points in the first quarter to a rate of 63.7% compared to 64.8%. It's not a lot of difference, but you know what? Does it become a trend?
Well, if nationwide it's 59%, you can see the comparison and how bad it's getting in California.
Yeah, so let's see. The homeownership vacancy rate of 1.9% was 0.1 percentage points lower than the rate in the first quarter of 2014 and approximately the same the rate last quarter. So, you watch these things and maybe there's a trend there and not, but California is definitely, as you said before, getting harder and harder for home affordability.
Yes, it could be a problem. Well, actually, it's always had affordability problems, California. It's just gotten worse, particularly because a lot of municipalities, impose very stringent developer fees and everything and make it very expensive. And then you have many neighbors and people in different communities that have that NIMBY attitude, not in my backyard.
Right.
They think, if they build affordable housing next to their neighborhood, that it's going to decrease the value of their home or this or that. And so it's something that we certainly need to debate on here in California. There is a caveat I have to say, though, is if they would like to build 165,000 new homes a year, where would they get the water for them?
Bob, you don't need water in a new house.
Well, yeah, maybe not until you move in.
Oh, well, okay then.
Yeah, but that's a major problem because recently there was an op-ed last week in L.A. Times from a Jet Propulsion Laboratory scientist who said that with the water that we have currently in the reservoirs in California, we have about a year's worth of water left for the whole state.
Right.
And that we should be on rationing right now.
Right. So I heard the similar story about, we have about 1 year of water left for the whole state. And the challenge we really have is that only about 20% of the water that we have for the state is used for the residents, right? So if we all just save 20 or 25%, excuse me 1 second, Bob.
Oh, God bless you.
I don't have a sneeze button. But if everybody just saves 20 or 25% like they're really being asked to do so, what that really does is saves the state about 3 days worth of water. So we need more stringent rationing than just to simply request people to save 20%.
Well, the other thing is something I brought up to the Forms Committee at Kcaaa when I was up there last week was, what are they going to do about disclosure forms for water? Because different water districts may have different restrictions one to the other. They all may come up kind of with their own plans.
Right.
And therefore, depending on the city or the area that you're selling a property in, you may have to have a unique disclosure just for that area to let future homeowners know what they're in store for. Also suggested to one of the home warranty companies it might be something that they would add to the natural hazards disclosure because that's keyed right to the property. And that might be an easier way for, this quilt of different laws and stuff that they're going to put through, because the governor is pushing so that the local municipalities can enforce those fines and stuff, and that way people can't drag it out in court or something like that. So it's going to be a really big thing because, if you want to buy a house in California and they're giving you a piece of paper, it says, well, this house is under rationing, and this is all the water you're going to be able to use. And people might think twice about buying that house, because I'll guarantee you, if it continues the way that it is, they're gonna force all the water companies to put electronic meters on your house.
Right.
Which means they're going to be able to monitor the water usage in your house minute by minute. So and then what they're doing is they're talking about a tiered pricing structure.
Right.
So you get a base rate if you're good up to a specific amount of water, and then if you go to the next tier, then it starts costing you more money. Now, there was just a lawsuit regarding that in San Clemente, and that was thrown out. But the governor said there are some other ways that they can work around that.
Absolutely.
One gentleman at the meeting, the drought forum, brought up was the problem that they have with tenants in apartment buildings using excessive amounts of water. He's on a tiered system somewhere, wherever his apartment building is, and he said, it gets very expensive as it moves up the tiers. And sometimes they had an example of a building that was on individual meters with an exact same building next door that had 1 meter, and the building that had the individual meters used 50% less water than the building that had 1 meter for the whole building.
Right.
Because then people can hide and
their usage. I mean, they can hide their usage. Nobody knows.
So we're in for a lot more of this in the future, particularly if we don't see much change as far as the weather goes.
Well, Bob, it's funny is that we're talking about the water usage, and it's all over the news, and we talk about it a lot on the show the last couple of months. And I actually had lunch on Monday, and the gentleman sitting to my right
Did you have water at lunch?
I did, but you had to ask for it.
Yeah.
So, and I sat with. I believe his name was Tony. He's the director of Rancho Water. I think it's called Rancho Water Company, and they're up in Apple Valley in the high desert. And one of the challenges with the different companies, and you talk about disclosures about what the cost might be in tiered pricing and so forth, and they're really trying to combat the water usage by giving 50 cents a square foot back out for desert scape stuff like that. But right now, currently, their cost for water is about 100% more than mine is in Victorville.
My goodness.
So if I'm about $80 a month, they're about $160 a month, roughly. He said the average house there is around $300 a month, and the bigger properties are up to $600 a month for water.
Yeah.
Now, I remember in 1980-ish, I lived in Redondo Beach. My water bill every month was $19. That's all I paid, like $19.
Gosh, big change, I'll tell you.
Now we're at $600, right?
Yeah.
It's incredible. And the problem is, and you, Bob, if they raise the price up so that people would use less, that price will never come back down. Even if we have, torrential rains for the next 100 years and have all the water in the world, they'll never lower the price of water. I mean, it's just the price won't come back down.
Well, they'll get used to the extra gravy that they have and find some way to spend it. That's right. Yeah.
Well, and no matter what you charge, it doesn't solve any problem. It's just profit for the company because it still costs them the same to deliver the water. So it's just profit for them. What it does is it's punitive to the people who are using it so that they cut down. But it's just more profit.
Well, the problem is in California, if it continues and it gets to a critical point and people really start selling their house to get the heck out of the state, it's going to devastate property values.
Oh, yeah.
Just totally devastate them. And there's even parts of the state that I've read articles about that may have to be totally evacuated if this continues, that it's going to be a long-range problem connected with climate change or whatever, lack of rain, you name it.
Scuttle the high-speed rail and build 4 desal plants.
That's what people were saying at the meeting. And we wanted to also mention a couple of things. Don't forget Calvin at B&C Cleaning Services. For a greener community and a cleaner world, they offer all kinds of residential, commercial cleaning services, general cleaning, carpet cleaning, window blinds, construction cleanup, special event cleanup, homemade service, ceramic and stone flooring cleaning, and other services available upon request. You can reach Calvin's company at 888-659-4646. That's 888-659-4646.
Excellent.
Yeah, and hey, okay, what's it going to be? Mayweather or Kcaaa?
Well, Bob, just because, you have a lot of ties to the Filipino community, right?
I just got invited to a party on Saturday,
I'm going Pacquiao.
I'm ready to go.
I'm going Pacquiao.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens out there. It should be an exciting fight. Hopefully, it won't be like a knockout in the first round.
It's unfortunate. A lot of times the big fights, right? They end short like that. But those two guys, they put on a good show, and you know what? I'm glad to see a good boxing match come along, because typically what we see is the the ultimate fighting, all that kind of cage fighting and stuff like that, which is kind of neat for those people who like that. But I like more the art of boxing. So.
Well, both these guys are welterweight, so there's less likelihood of one of them knocking the other one out. But it's going. I'll bet that'll be toe to toe for most of the rounds.
Yeah, that's what we like to see. Good boxing match. So.
Yeah. So everybody enjoy out there on Saturday if you're watching the fight.
Big thing. What also is this Saturday? Do you know?
This Saturday?
Yeah, big event. Big, Bob.
Big.
Yeah, Kentucky Derby.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I can get all dressed up with my bow tie for the Kentucky Derby.
I thought you'd wear one of those hats.
Oh, that might be too. But I can have my mint julep.
Have a mint julep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. So, you got any open houses or anything coming up on the weekend? Or?
No, this weekend.
I got a beautiful home on the golf course in Hesperia, 5-bedroom, 3-bath. 3,815 square feet, all brand new on the inside. 8732 Pico Avenue, just reduced in price, $5,000 to $349,250. If you like a golf course home, that's the one to go for.
Give Bob a call.
What's
your number, Bob?
951-318-1952. 951-318-1952.
Hey, all have a great weekend.
Real Estate Talk with Bob and Randy.
You're on board KCAA's Inland Talk Express. KCAA, Loma Linda, 1050 AM, the station that leaves no listener behind.
I'm Chris Maurer, CNBC Business Radio. Stocks are sharply lower. The Dow's down 97 points. The Nasdaq lower by 54. Shares of Apple are down more than 2%. That's on a report that a key component of its new watch is defective. The Wall Street Journal says the component produces the sensation of being tapped on the wrist. Since there are two suppliers for the part in question, Apple is only sourcing one of them. Weekly jobless claims came in at a 15-year low at 262,000. Personal income was flat in March, and consumer spending was up just slightly. Shares of Yelp are sharply lower a day after the Consumer Review website forecast second quarter revenue below analysts' expectations. Colgate-Palmolive cut its full-year forecast for a second time. The company says the impact of the currency exchange would worsen. And after the close, Visa, AIG, and LinkedIn are scheduled to report earnings. Chris Maurer, CN.